Welcome back to another episode of Tell Me Sis podcast featuring your two favorite sisters,
Alex
and Kyla.
We miss you guys so much. It has been, realistically, it's only been a week that we missed, but we haven't recorded for
3 weeks?
3?
Yeah, because we pre-recorded.
You're right.
Like, we did 2 episodes in one day.
Yeah.
So
a week before I left.
Yeah, so it's been like 3 weeks.
Wow. There's a lot that's happened these 3 weeks.
Yeah, a lot has happened. Actually, something huge happened for you.
And you.
Well, you go first.
Well, before we do anything, if you hear any kind of weird noise in the background, there's people ice fishing outside, so they're digging into the ice, so you might hear a saw. And also there's some running water because...
For Nika. I'm
Kyla?
cat sitting currently.
Yeah, I need some water. Yeah, so Kyla's cat sitting. You might be able to see him in the background. Nikush. He's chilling. Let's just leave him have his fun.
He might come join us at some point because he's obsessed with cuddling with me anywhere I go in the house. He has to come and sit on me. Like, he's on that couch because I went from sitting on this couch this morning having my coffee to wanting to go over there. So he followed me there. Then I went in my bedroom. He had to come in the bedroom. Went back there. He went back there. So I'm surprised he's not, like, with us right now. Probably
doesn't like me. He's like, that girl smells like dog.
No, honestly, my friend was over last night and he was cuddling with her so much.
Great.
He's a huge cuddler. I think he's chilling because there's sun and he likes to suntan.
He's a really cute cat. He's kind of like a dog. He likes to cuddle. Yeah. He likes attention. I know there's cats like that, but I haven't met very many of them. Usually I have not great experiences with cats.
Yeah, I used to not like cats because... in my experience, growing up, anyone that had a cat, it wasn't really friendly except for...
Yoj.
No, Girly.
She was friendly.
Girly was friendly, but Bob scarred me.
Well, Elu's cats scarred me because they would, like, hide under the bed, and when you'd when you'd walk by, she would attack my ankles and, like, claw them and bite me. I was a kid. I was like... And then also Mom being so allergic to cats.
Yeah.
It's like, we can never have a cat because our mom, like... if she enters a home with a cat, her eyes like instantly swell. She can't breathe. It's like bad.
Nika's hypoallergenic, but I know that like not all the time do hypoallergenic cats like do people like who are allergic not still kind of get like some
because Dan's
itchiness.
Allergic.
I mean, like, my friend is allergic to cats, and she was over last night. She was able to pet him. He was sitting right beside her, and, like, she was completely fine.
I, like, want to test that out with Dan, because he's pretty much like Mom, like, which is funny, because he grew up with cats in his house, but they just were never allowed in his room, or they didn't really go in the basement much when he lived at home, because he spent a lot of time there. So it was fine. It was, like, if he spent too much time in his living room, he would start to get, like, itchy throat and stuff. But I always thought it was cat fur, but he told me it's cat saliva that you're allergic to. And when they lick their fur, because they're always licking their fur, and their fur comes off and is over, like, then it's their saliva's everywhere, basically.
Okay.
So I didn't know that. I thought it was, like, their fur.
Yeah, Nika doesn't shed. I never have to vacuum. Like, me and you see my couch. It's like there's one strand of my hair right there.
Wow.
But
maybe that's why he's hypoallergenic, because the hair doesn't get everywhere.
But I mean, like, my friend was able to pet him. She was fine.
Interesting.
We were eating on the couch.
He's such a cute cat.
I know.
I was like right up in his face cuddling him, and he was purring and just...
He loves it.
And he was like swatting at my hair.
Yeah.
It's cute.
But he's gentle too. Yeah. Like he doesn't want to hurt you.
Yeah. Dan's family, they had 3 cats. They were all rescues. 2 of them were really... So one of them, the newest one they had, was like the friendliest one, the big fluffy black one.
Yeah.
He was the friendliest one, kind of like a dog, just like
was
liked
he the
attention.
One that they rescued?
They rescued all of them.
Okay.
CC was really friendly, only on his terms though. Like sometimes he would like to be on his own.
Okay.
So, and then their first one that they rescued was very nervous and scared of people, but she wasn't vicious. She was just always hiding, and she just really liked Tim.
Okay. Which was the one that we really liked?
I liked all of them, but I think you really liked the black one, Coco.
Yeah.
Which is the newest one they had rescued.
Coco. Are they all still alive?
No, just Coco.
Aww.
Yeah. But they lived long lives, so.
Yeah.
Well, no one really knew how old they were.
Like 11 or 12.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's kind of old.
I think... Okay, we're talking a lot about cats here. I'm so sorry if you don't care. Actually, if you don't care about animals, like, stop listening right now. Because
unsubscribe. Don't listen.
We love animals. We don't deserve animals. They're just amazing. But I guess we could get into our life updates.
Yeah.
We also haven't hung out in a few weeks, so we're trying to like catch up as well because we haven't even really spoken.
Yeah.
I went to New York. I had a really fun trip. You started a new job.
I started a new job.
Are you happy?
Yeah.
And are you allowed, because I get a lot of people ask what you do, and you've been posting on your stories like tagging the company. Do you want to talk
I've never
about?
tagged the company.
Oh,
Maybe I did once.
you did.
Anyways,
I
work for a real estate agency called M Immobilier. Mm-hmm. They're based in Montreal, and I'm like their social media manager. So I'm employed with them. I'm not a broker, and I manage different brokers' Instagram accounts. I manage M's Instagram account. And I do a bunch of other stuff. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go into too much detail.
Yeah, you don't have to.
But
you like
nothing illegal. No. That's not why I'm saying I'm not sure if I'm allowed to go into too much detail. It's just that there's a lot of like exciting things coming with my role.
Right.
So yeah, and I really like it. Everyone is very friendly. I'm busy. My days are a lot busier now, which is a good thing. The office is closer to my building.
Thank gosh, you barely have to drive.
I know, it's like a 10-minute drive from where I live.
You go in twice a week?
Yeah, so I'm expected to go in twice a week, but every week could look different.
Right.
So my first week there's a bunch of different locations that they have, and so like I was at like the main head office on Monday, and then I was at like a different location every day, but then I worked remotely on Friday of my first week. And then my second week I went in Mondays because that's like the mandatory day, and then I also went in Friday. And then now this week, I don't know what this week is looking like, but I mean, we'll find out. And that's what I like, is that every week is different, and because they have different locations, I'm not always in the same spot.
I feel like this is exactly what you were looking for in a job.
Exactly, because I'm the type of person where I get very bored when things are too repetitive. So I like different locations, like a different environment. I like to be doing different things on a daily basis. Like I can, but I don't enjoy doing the same thing in the same place every day. I know a lot of people prefer to have that routine. They really like routine, whereas I'm not someone that could deal with routine for too long a period of time.
Right.
I like that change. I like to be doing different things. So it's a lot of fun. I really like it.
I think Nika's coming over.
Oh, he's joining us.
Yay, I'm so happy. He's so cute. Do you know what kind of cat he is?
My friend has told me so many times. You see that white spot on my carpet?
Yeah.
He puked.
Oh no.
So I cleaned it. And it stained the carpet. What's happening, Nika? Are you gonna come, baby?
If you're watching on YouTube, you'll probably see him. We can't really explain. Big jump. I don't even know how to explain what he looks like. Oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Come here, baby. If you guys want to see Nika, then watch us on YouTube.
I feel like that's really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Yes, and then I'm working on like some things on the side, so that's also fun. Like I'm honestly,
you're busy.
I've been very busy. It's been actually really overwhelming, but in a good way.
Yeah.
Like I have anxiety. I feel overwhelmed and stressed, but it's weird. It's because of good things that I want in my life. So like I'm working towards it. So like at the end of the day, it feels really good. And I like being busy. I definitely need to like figure out a way that I can make more time for myself. Yesterday, I took a day for myself. I went to get a massage, which I'm going to start doing, I think, once a month.
Good.
And then I just like chilled with the family for a bit. And then my friend came over at night. We just watched movies and had some wine. So it was like really a nice chill me day. I still managed to like do a little bit of work in between.
Yeah.
But like really not a lot. And my mind wasn't focused on work. And then when I woke up this morning, I was like, okay, back to being productive.
Yeah. We have a fun day today. We're recording the podcast, which is always fun because sometimes it's like a therapy session. It like feels good.
Yeah, I actually feel like excited to film this right now.
Like other than just like setting up a camera and lights and like the actual equipment, like it's fun to just hang out and chat. And I know people that are either watching or listening, they're just kind of sitting in on our girl talks.
My pants, they must look so weird. I mean, maybe you don't see it in the camera.
I can't even tell from where I'm sitting.
Okay.
But yeah, it's nice to because it's kind of like we're just hanging out and talking.
With Nika,
featuring the little kitty cat.
Featuring the boy.
And then afterwards, we're going for lunch with our friend Kat. It's her birthday. Well, not technically today, but it's during the week, her birthday. So we're taking her for lunch, and that's going to be really fun. That's
exciting.
And yeah, my trip to New York was quick, but it was really fun. It was our friend Carrie's 30th birthday. And if you don't follow along on Instagram or on YouTube or anything, our friend Carrie lived in New York for so long. I don't even know. Was it 10 years? Probably. And she recently moved to Minnesota. I think she has a moving vlog where she like talks all about it. You can go watch that. But it's sad because she's not in New York anymore. And for her 30th, she's like, I have to celebrate my 30th in New York. Because all of her friends are there. It's where she spent so much of her time, and she just like needed to be back there. So she stayed with our friends, and we all drove down to go celebrate with her. And it was really fun because they had this dinner planned, and then they had like a night out planned, which is so funny because it made me realize how old I am.
Yeah. I can't. I don't like going out anymore.
So here's the thing. The place was really fun, and it was like trendy. It was like a vibe, whatever. The drinks were so expensive, and that might not just be the place. Like maybe
drinks are expensive in general.
But like in New York, and we've been to different places in New York that are not this expensive. But Dan said he went to buy like a gin and tonic, and it was $18 US for like a small gin and tonic. And he was crazy. Like, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
So not that we needed to drink alcohol, it's just one of those things where we're like, hey, this is so pricey. And it was like a cool vibe upstairs. We're all chatting, whatever. And then we went downstairs to the disco room, which would have been fun, but I didn't know one song the DJ was playing. I couldn't hear or see anything. We were me and Dan were being banged around. We couldn't dance. It was just like, we were like, we feel so old. Plus we had our son with us, so we knew the next morning we had to be up at 6:30, and it was going to be a long day. So we're like, hey, we're not going to stay that late. We were so tired. Dan was literally falling asleep, and I'm like thinking back to 10 years prior when Dan and I would start going out because we were in our early 20s.
Yeah.
And we would literally stay out till like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And like get wasted, and it was no big deal. We could do that 3 nights in a row.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I was struggling to stay till 11 p.m.
I know. It's just, but also like as you get older too, you just realize that like it's actually not as fun. The whole point, or at least for me and like with my group of friends, what I think the whole like fun part was about going out and going to clubs was like getting drunk. So then you don't focus on how loud the music is, how crowded it is. Like you're drunk. So like all those things that are like annoying aren't as annoying. Like you're one of the annoying people when you're drunk.
But you can't get drunk at a place that costs $18 for a simple.
Yeah, it's really expensive. And like even in Montreal though, like you go like for dinner and drinks, or you just go to a lounge, like drinks are expensive.
Yeah.
18 US is like really expensive though.
Like that's 20 something.
But like cocktails
Canadian.
in Montreal, it's always between like $16 to like $25.
But anyways, we left I think at around 10:30 because we just could not stay. We were so tired. I think we both fell asleep in the car ride home. And then they actually ended up leaving, going to a different place that they used to go to a lot before COVID. And they said like the vibes were so fun. They were playing like One Direction and like old music and stuff. And I was like, oh dang, I wish I like.
See, that's more fun. I don't like going to clubs where it's like the music is so loud and there's no like singing.
Yeah.
I like 90s music or like 2000s.
Yeah. So that's where they went afterwards. I was like, oh, I wish they didn't know they were going to leave. It just, they also didn't like the vibe of this place. So they ended up going, and I was like, oh, it's too bad. But we were so tired anyways. And then the next day, like that first day, we spent the day basically just hanging out with Carrie and Tess and Pat and like catching up and letting the kids play and whatever. Then we went for dinner for Carrie's birthday, went out. And then the next day was like a full city day for me, Dan, Mom, and Arkham. So we went into the city, we took the train. It was freezing cold that day. It was literally so cold, Kyla. Like it felt like we were in Montreal, just no snow. But the day before was 20 degrees. So it was like a massive
difference.
A massive difference. And he's snoring.
Yeah.
And it was so cold, but it was really fun. We got back for Arky's nap, and then Dan went for a run because he has so much energy, and I just passed out. Took such a nice nap. And then that night it was Julia's boyfriend's birthday. Yeah. So we went out for his birthday, which this place was a lot
Julia
nicer.
Has a boyfriend.
Yeah, his name is Shadi. He's really, really, really nice. Super cool dude.
It's a nice name.
Yeah. And he's such a cool guy. He has so many friends. Because like
Julia still lives in New York, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But it was crazy because we went, there's like a two levels to this bar, and there was pool tables, and like the music wasn't so loud, but it was still like decent music. And I mean, yeah, drinks were expensive, but they weren't as expensive. And there was couches to lounge on. It was just really nice. But almost everyone that was there was a lot of people. They're all there for Shaddy. So he knows a lot of people. But it was nice because I got to just like hang out with our friends and chat and talk. And we were talking about like so many different things. It was really nice. And then Dan and I left. We took the train back home, went to sleep. And the next day was like an all day family hanging out in the apartment, going to the park with the kids, just ordering food. It was really nice to catch up. Like, and that was the day that everyone went to the apartment to give Carrie her presents and sing happy birthday, give her the cake, and like do that whole thing, which was so nice. And then the next day we drove home and I got the stomach flu.
Yeah, that's huge for someone who has a emetophobia.
Yeah. I kind of knew it was going to happen. Our friends had it. They actually had it the week prior, and then one of our other friends ended up getting it there because I did not know this, but you're still contagious days after your symptoms are gone.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I thought you were only contagious before and during, and then once you're over it, maybe like
see, here's the thing.
24 hours after.
Don't even know. Like, my friend sent me, the reason why I keep saying my friend is because I don't know if she even wants it out there that she like had the stomach flu. She hasn't talked about it or anything, so I'm not saying anything, but she had sent me this like article of like kind of what her sister had sent her of what stomach flu, gastro, whatever it is, you know, when you're contagious, when you can get it, this whole thing, which kind of made sense. But basically you can be contagious for up to 10 days after, which to me seems so crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's so long, but it's not guaranteed, right? Because for one, I was sick Monday night, and by Friday I was hanging out with Arky and Dan all day, and like they never caught it.
Yeah.
And this is what's so weird too, is that not everyone got it.
Yeah.
Some people did and some people didn't. And it wasn't food poisoning because it was like,
it was traveling between you guys at like different times.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so like
it was definitely a flu.
Yeah. And like I had a fever and like the chills, and it's like it wasn't just, you know. So I basically isolated when I got sick that first night, and I went in detail in a YouTube video if you want to go watch that. I spoke about like the whole experience for me, but I was sick Monday night, and then Dan basically was like, go upstairs. Like it was Tuesday morning. He's like, go upstairs, just like sleep and stay in the bed and just get better. Like I'll handle everything. And I was like, wow, that's so nice.
Did he sleep in bed with you?
No. He slept on the couch. But
he slept on the couch that you were sleeping on the night you were sick.
So when I went upstairs that morning, he took apart the entire couch, because our couch, I wasn't sick on the couch. I was in the bathroom. Yeah. But still, I like semi laid down on the couch. So he took apart the whole couch. You can actually take off every single lining of the cushions and the couch itself.
Okay.
And so he washed all of that. He bleached down the entire house. He took apart the toilet piece by piece and bleached the whole entire toilet. Like literally scrubbed down the house. He put the TV on for Arkham and was like, sit in this corner and like clean the whole thing. And then he kept sanitizing and washing their hands all day. And he kept like a bucket nearby because he was like, in case Arky gets sick, I want to be ready.
Yeah.
Because he's like, it's probably going to hit us. You know, we're probably already infected. And then like the whole day went by. Arkham ate so much food that day. Dan was like, okay, clearly he's feeling fine. Yeah. Dan was feeling fine. And then the next day again, they were fine. Like they just never ended up catching it. And it's been 2 weeks now. So
yeah, good.
Yeah, but yeah, it traveled through my friend actually took like it was like when you have contractions.
I was thinking about that this morning, and I was dying of laughter.
So my other friend who got it, not the one who got it first, but the one who was sick the same night as me, she took like timestamps of when she was sick, and like she wanted to see if there was like a pattern so she can know when she was going to be sick again. But I was like laughing so hard because she sent me the screenshot. I'm like, it looks like when someone's in labor and they're marking their contractions.
See, the way I remember having the stomach flu, I was a kid when I had it, but like I just remember being so sick and like so delirious because I was so weak that the fact that she was able to like still like manage to go on her phone and like track it.
I was literally playing games on my phone in between. Here's the thing, Kyla, and this is what someone told me. When you're a kid, you don't know your needs. You're just sick and your parents take care of you. As an adult, I knew to drink water. I need to hydrate myself. I knew when to rest. I knew what my body needed because I'm an adult now. Yeah. So I was able to take care of myself.
You're able to kind of process the situation more rationally.
As a child, you don't know those things.
That's
You're just dying.
That's why like we have such a fear, because that's how we remember it being. And then as adults, at least like for me, knock wood, I haven't had it. So
yeah, it's
see,
this is the thing. Like, people don't get it unless they have emetophobia. People
Yeah.
are like, I don't understand why it's such a big thing in your life, because to me it's so not a big deal. It's like, yeah, no one likes to get sick, but it's whatever. Like, okay, so you threw up, big whoop. For us, we're like, oh, you threw up? And it's like a big deal.
Like,
and
you're alive right now?
And Kai, the amount of people I've connected with that have emetophobia.
Oh, so many people have it. It's so much more common than you think.
It's one of the most popular. It's one of the most common phobias to have. But yeah, it was.
Anyways, I'm proud of you. You got through it. You were playing games in between.
I was literally. This is what I said in my video too. What I would do, and I'm sorry if this is triggering to anyone who has emetophobia. Like, I know talking about it can be a little triggering or whatever, but I truly think this experience like healed me, because I am now no longer scared to throw up at all. But like, literally, what's the worst is when you're vomiting and there's nothing to vomit and it's just painful. So what I would do is, in between sessions, I would eat a Pedialyte Freezy, because you feel good after you get sick. So I would just eat one, and then it would A, hydrate me for the time being, and B, the next time I would get sick, it didn't hurt and it kind of tasted good.
Yeah.
Because it was literally just like coming right back up.
Yeah.
So that wasn't that bad. And then once I was done, like, I knew I was done.
Yeah.
Like, I could tell it was out of my system. And then I was just extremely tired and dehydrated, and like I had a headache, and like my muscles were sore.
Yeah, because I'm sure you were tense a lot too.
Well, to throw up, like, your whole body, like, you know? So it was just, I don't know. I was like, the whole time I was like proud of myself. I'm like, hell yeah, girl. Like, you're doing this.
If anything, you're like, finally this is happening. Like, and I'm getting through it. I'm okay.
Yeah. Like, I literally was like, wow, that was not, I built it up in my head so much. The last time I had the stomach flu was 10 years ago, literally spring 2013. Because it was when I first started at Brandy Melville, when I worked there.
Oh, I remember that. But you didn't get that sick.
Yeah, it was basically the same thing.
Really?
As this time, yeah.
Oh.
And that's the thing. No one else in the house caught it. Dan didn't catch it, and he was literally in the same bed as me, like, cleaning.
I think it was more food poisoning.
No, I had the flu. I had like a fever, and I was sick for like a few days.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was like different sessions throughout the night.
Yeah. Well, I remember when we're talking about this so much, I'll say it quick. But I remember when I was like maybe 12, I got sick. There was a day that I stayed home from school and I threw up. And I threw up a few times and no one else in the house caught it.
It's not like, I mean, Dan and Arky didn't catch it. You can definitely, like, when you have sicknesses, yeah, sometimes you all catch it and then you show symptoms at different times. But sometimes, like, mom didn't catch anything. And because Dan was like, oh, maybe because you spent more time with the girls. I'm like, but mom was with us the same amount of time. Like, we would just drive ourselves crazy trying to figure out how I caught it, and like mom, Daniel, and Arky didn't.
It could literally just be as simple as, like, at one point Julia was talking to you and a piece of her saliva landed on your hand and then you like scratched your eye or something.
Yeah,
you know I
mean
it could literally, it could be something,
or my immune system isn't as strong as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, there's a million different things. There's no rhyme or reason. I'm just like very glad it happened. And I was actually like talking to a girl that I know that's a therapist, and she was like, you have no idea like how amazing it is what you just went through by yourself, and you were able to do it, and you like tackled your biggest fear. And so it's kind of on this like high of like, I'm gonna tackle different fears of mine. So I know I've been saying for a long time I want to get on a plane by myself, but that is a plan for 2023. I think in the summer I'm gonna go visit Carrie. I think that's my goal, because that's another huge fear. It was never as big as the emetophobia.
Yeah,
but it's a big one. And then I went and ate at a restaurant by myself, which I texted you about.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? I feel like you wouldn't care though. It's not like a fear of yours.
No, it's not like a fear of mine. I've just I don't think I've ever done it just because like I've never felt the need to.
Yeah. For me, it was
but
like,
I want to go see like a movie by myself, like go to a movie theater and literally just
fun.
be on my own.
That literally would be so fun. Get some popcorn and like a drink. I'm feeling excited, but we should probably get into our what is our topic today? Underrated.
It's underrated versus overrated.
Yeah. So originally I thought we were going to do products, but I think it's kind of anything, really. Yeah. Because there are so many things that are so overrated. Like, they're all over TikTok, all over social media, and then I want to do it myself, and I'm like, this, not that it's a scam, but like it does not work for me. And then other things that I absolutely love that no one talks about. And I'm like, these are so underrated.
Yeah.
Like, this is the thing. It's tricky because certain products that work, let's say for me, might not work for you.
Yeah.
And vice versa. Like, you might love something.
You recommended that Charlotte Tilbury concealer.
I love that concealer.
You love that concealer. I hate that concealer.
Really?
It gets blotchy under my eyes. It comes off. It makes my skin look dry. So I went back to my Dior concealer. So I was like, maybe it's just my skincare routine. Like, maybe I'm doing something like different. I went back to my Dior concealer and it's not the case.
See, this is the thing. It's not up to the influencer if you're watching someone be like, they're lying. It's like, maybe that stuff really works for them.
Yeah.
You know, because there's so many things, like, we'll get into it, but there's so many things that, like, I've tried to love and I just literally cannot.
Yeah, I know. Same. Dry shampoo, overrated. I've never liked one dry shampoo I've ever used.
Can you tell how gray my roots are?
Now that I'm looking, yeah.
Because I put this dry shampoo that's supposed to be brown tinted and it still came out white.
That's the thing. It always makes my hair look ashy.
Yeah.
It literally looks like I poured a bag of like flour on my head and like rubbed it in. And then not only that, but I don't even find that it really makes my hair look less greasy. Overrated being busy, underrated doing one thing at a time. So I agree with this personally. And it's not that I don't like being busy. I have a very busy life currently. And although I'm very overwhelmed and I feel stressed a lot, I like that, like, you know, I get a lot done in my day. It makes me feel good at the end of the day. But then I also need to find a healthy balance between being productive in terms of getting things done for work and then also having me time. Mm-hmm. And I'm also realizing that when it comes to work, I'm focusing less on getting as much done in one day as possible and more about how well am I going to do on this one project and really just dedicate my full attention to that one thing. So it's more like quality over quantity. Even if it's just that one thing that I get done all day, but I did it to the best of my ability and I'm really happy with how it turned out, I'm happy.
Yeah.
So like with my full time, I'm like still trying to get in the groove of everything and like get used to everything. And it's going to be busier and busier as it picks up. So I'm really trying to figure out a system on how I can stay ahead. That could be a little bit overwhelming. And I do think that I have ADHD. I've spoken to like my therapist about it. I have a very hard time focusing on one thing at a time. My mind tends to wander and like I get anxiety. So I freak out over like the future.
Right.
So when I'm stressed out and I'm like, oh, I have X, Y, and Z to do today, it's hard for me to just complete one task at a time. It's almost like I have to be like multitasking on all three things at once. Whereas I started telling myself, no, at the beginning of the day, I'm dedicating like 4 or 5 hours just to this one task and I'm getting this done and I'm not doing anything else until this one task is done. And then once that's done, I'm going to move on to the next thing. But back to the underrated versus overrated thing, I think that being busy could be overrated because it depends like how you're spending that time being busy. Because I don't know how to explain the way I see it properly.
You see it as like, it doesn't have to always be that. And what is underrated is sometimes taking your time with things. That's how I understand.
Being in motion is not the same thing as taking action. As a society, we've fallen into a trap of busyness and overwork. More critically, we have mistaken all this activity as an indicator of living an important life. The underlying thought seems to be, look how busy I am. If I'm doing all this work, I must be doing something important. And by extension, I must be important because I'm so busy. So that literally goes hand in hand with what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's almost like people, they put too much of their self-worth and their happiness on being busy as opposed to like working with, like doing things with intention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's less about, I think it's like the way it's described here, being busy is overrated. It's more like, yes, occupy your time, but be intentional with it.
Yeah. No,
that's the way I see it.
That makes complete sense to me.
Because like I know people that are busy constantly and they always talk about, I have this one person in mind always talks about how busy they are and they don't have time for anything and like, you know, it's go, go, go. They love working, all this stuff. But then the more I got to know that person, the more I was like, you're constantly busy, you're constantly working, but it's because you're so disorganized and you just go in circles and you're not actually being productive. You're not actually doing anything.
Yeah.
You're just in your head going back and forth 24/7.
I wish Dan was here because he talks about this all the time. It like is such a pet peeve of his when he's been in these situations a lot when people are like, I'm so busy, and they'll be complaining, and he's like, you're just so bad at not multitasking but organization.
Yeah.
Like if you just planned your day better, like you would have so much time.
Yeah.
And he's really been like, it frustrates him a lot when people are like venting, and he like tries to be there for them, but he's like, you're like, it bothers him. So it's funny that you're saying that right now, because I'm like, this is such a thing that like Dan talks about so often.
It's frustrating because it's like almost like the person could be bragging about how busy they are, but then it's like,
are you actually doing anything?
You're not actually accomplishing anything.
So I didn't do like a overrated versus underrated, like a 1 versus 1. I just like wrote down things that I think are overrated. Fine. Okay, so this is a product I really want to talk about that I think is so overrated. Is the Drunk Elephant De-Bronzy Drops or whatever.
Oh my god, I have that.
Do you use it?
I stopped using it. It made my face so patchy.
Okay, I bought it and it was always out of stock, right?
Yeah.
So it came online on Sephora, and I was like, oh my god, I grabbed it. It was so blotchy on my skin, and I watched tutorials.
You're supposed to mix it in with your moisturizer.
I did. Yeah. And I even mixed it in with the Drunk Elephant moisturizer, the one that like it goes.
And it was still.
And because I'm pale, it was so bad compared to the rest of my body. I'm like, okay, I guess it works better if I'm self-tan, but then it was so blotchy.
Yeah.
And then I was breaking out.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this stuff sucks. So I actually went and returned it to Sephora and in person, and they were like, you're returning this? And I was like, I don't understand the hype. Like, this stuff sucks. I didn't say it like that to them, but I was like, yeah, no,
it just doesn't work
for me.
It doesn't work on me either.
And this is the thing. So many people swear by it. Like, they use it every single day. They love it. And I'm like, I cannot with this product.
Yeah.
It sucks. So, and it's so overpriced. It's so overpriced.
I know.
So, yeah, that's my thing. And I mean, this has nothing to do with anything. But underrated would be La Roche-Posay. Because I actually wrote like,
I use the cream that you gave me from them. I specifically use it like on my feet because I have this thing where I can't go to sleep with dry feet. Like if my feet are a little bit dry, I can't touch my bed sheets.
Okay.
It bothers me. So I have that cream on my bedside table. I use it every single night, and I even use it to moisturize my hands when I'm like really, really dry in the winter.
Yeah, so La Roche-Posay, this is the thing. I've watched so many skincare videos on TikTok and stuff. People are like, best and worst skincare, and it's never mentioned. And I don't understand why, because this is not sponsored. I do work with them, but like, I am shocked because that stuff cleared my face. Yeah. Obviously, I still get hormonal acne and whatever. That's unavoidable. But the texture of my skin and just in general, I'm like, their stuff is so good. Not even for the face, but for the body too. And their sunscreen is great. Great. Their kids' products are great, like for sunscreen. Their stuff is so good. And
yeah, I've used some of your skincare products from them.
Yeah.
And like, I love it.
Their stuff is amazing. And I guess also because I went and I learned how they make their products, and they work a lot with cancer patients that go through chemotherapy, that have dry skin, and that, or even skin cancer. Like, they work very, very closely with cancer patients. And so they know what it's like to have the sensitive skin.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm always shocked that I never see them spoken about. I'm like, their stuff is so good. And like, I got so many of my followers on La Roche-Posay because of how much I've spoken about it. And so many people are like, this stuff is so good.
It's so good. I love La Roche-Posay.
I know, it's amazing. So, I mean, not sponsored, y'all. Even though like, I'm honest in my sponsorships when I am paid to talk about things, I'll never like lie. Even outside of sponsorships, I'm like, you guys need to try these products. They're so good. I don't understand why no one talks about them online.
I know, it's true. I've never seen people talk about La Roche-Posay really. It's always how do you pronounce it? CeraVe? So I have their moisturizer. I freaking love it.
Their stuff is good too.
Yeah, I love CeraVe. Yeah. They're actually sending me some more products. They're not like paying me or anything. Yeah. They're just sending it to me. The second they emailed me, they're like, we just came out with these 4 new products. Like, would you like them? I was like, yes. And I like how big the moisturizer is. It's so big, and I like put it like on my neck, on my chest. Learning that on TikTok that you're not supposed to just moisturize your face. It's like bring it down. You didn't know that? I mean, I knew it for a while, but like I'm really realizing like with age how important it actually is, and like how important it actually is to wear sunscreen, because I'm like noticing my skin change a little bit.
Well, here's the thing is I always put cream down my neck and on my chest, and I still get wrinkles. So maybe I just wasn't using the right products.
Also, supposedly retinol is supposed to be very good for
so retinol, skin. I use it, but you can't use it that often.
Okay.
especially if you have sensitive skin, but it makes me break out like crazy. And I was like, I don't understand what's going on. And I realized it's because it's bringing out all of my gunk.
I did research on it, and that's very normal when you start using
exactly. So I was like, why is this stuff making me break out like all of my chin, everything? And then I realized it's because of the retinol that I added to my skincare routine.
So what's the process? This is the thing that always confuses me, because I'm like, what's the process of using moisturizer, serum, face wash, retinol? So first you wash your face with face wash.
Every single person is different.
Okay.
This is the thing, is what I've learned with talking to professionals in skincare and doctors and whatever, is every person is individual with what their step needs to be. There are also some people that will take breaks from skincare like products once or twice a week at night. They don't wash their face. They don't, like, they just rinse it with water. They don't put any products, because it really is so dependent on you. So you can watch someone online who does a certain skincare routine and you're like, I love that, I'm going to buy the same things. And then like it doesn't work for you because you have different skin.
Yeah.
And so for myself, what works for me is double cleansing, especially if I have makeup.
Okay.
So a double cleanse. And then twice a week, I use the Paula's Choice like exfoliating toner.
Okay.
On a pad. I do that. And it really helps to make the texture of my skin like so nice the next day.
Yeah.
And then every night and morning, I use a serum. So depending, again, winter, summer, what's going on with my skin, it changes. Sometimes I need more vitamin C. Sometimes I use like a really hydrating hyaluronic acid. It just really depends. And then for myself, a moisturizer to like lock it out.
I'm like smiling because he's really snoring.
Yeah, he's snoring so loud. But the serum is to really go like to the deep down parts of your skin. And then the moisturizer is to like lock it all in.
Okay.
With at least the products that I'm using.
Okay.
And that's it. So
who did you speak to get like to know all this?
I spoke to so many different doctors. Well, I spoke to my doctor, but then I also spoke to, when I was on the La Roche-Posay trip. Okay. They had also invited not just influencers. They invited, I guess they're kind of considered influencers, but they're skincare influencers. They're dermatologists. Okay. So there are dermatologists that's on TikTok talking about dermatology. Okay. So they were invited to this trip as well. So I was talking to a lot of them. Yeah. And so obviously every doctor is going to have different things to say, but for the most part, they all kind of say the same thing. It's like less is more in a lot of cases. You know, doing a 7-step skincare routine that you see online a lot is probably not the best for you. Yeah. It might work for some people, not for others. Sunscreen is the most important thing. Yeah. So I put that on every single morning after my moisturizer. And especially if you're going to use retinol. If you're going to use retinol, 100% you need to use sunscreen, because it makes, before you apply the retinol. No, just in general. Okay. Like if you're going to be using retinol on your skin, don't use it every single day. But on the days, like if you're going to forget to put sunscreen, like make sure it's not on the day that you use retinol. Okay. Because it's like makes your skin extra sensitive. Okay. And yeah, double cleanse is like really important to do to get rid of all that crap. But yeah, this was long to explain, but I am very passionate about skincare because of what my skin has been through.
Okay, I have a good one. I'm curious to know your thoughts on this. Okay. And everyone who's listening to this. Overrated degrees, certifications, and credentials. Underrated courage and creativities. Okay. And creativity, sorry.
So we actually got a lot of flack in one of the episodes where we said like, oh, we don't think you need to have a college degree in order to like get a job, whatever, because people were like mad that we're sending out like a bad message to people. Mm-hmm. But I still stand by what I said. Yeah. You don't 100% need a college degree in order to be successful in life. Like I will 100% stand by that. It is not a necessity. Necessity. And you can always go back to school. Yeah. Exactly. Like school is not going anywhere. There were people in my class when I was in university that were in their 40s and 50s that wanted to try a different career. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like where we live, luckily our school is not that expensive. Mm-hmm. But in other places in the world, especially in the States, it is extremely expensive. I always think going to school is never a negative.
It's never a negative, ever.
No, you're learning something. It's never a negative.
And it does, I have to say, when you're applying for a job, a lot of places do look, if you're looking for like a corporate job, mm-hmm. it does say requirement a bachelor's degree. Yeah. However, my bachelor's degree is nothing. Oh, I literally can't form a sentence right now. But what I'm doing right now, I'm in marketing. It has nothing to do with what I studied in university. Yeah. I studied human relations.
And even at that, guys, like there are so many people that like if you're applying to a big corporation that is looking through tons of CVs, it's going to filter through the ones that don't have, let's say, degrees or whatever, and just not even bother. But if you're going to work at a startup, if you're going to work at a smaller company or whatever, and like get experience that way, there are so many companies that do not require a degree. They want to see who you are, what you can do, your experience, what you can bring to the team. It's like,
exactly. Like, Alex, you technically, like, you don't have a university degree, but if you applied for my position, guaranteed you'd get it.
Yeah, like this is the thing. You can also start your own business.
Yeah.
Like, do I think going to school and learning things is bad? No. I think it's amazing. There's a lot of stuff you can actually learn online. You can do courses online. But that the old school thought of like, you need to go to school and get a degree in order to get a job and be successful in life. What is success to you? Does it mean monetary? Does getting a lot of money mean success? Does that equal happiness to you? Because yes, having money makes things easier in life, but it doesn't equal happiness.
Yeah.
So you need to figure out what success means to you, for one. And then for two, how can you get to that goal that you want? Do you need to have a degree to get to that goal? Well, then if you do, then go to school and get the degree, 100%. Yeah. If you don't need one to get to that goal, then try it out. See if something that is, you know, is bringing you joy, sparking your creativity, making you happy, and seeing where it can go. And if it doesn't work, then you can always go back to school.
Yeah.
It's never like it. This is the thing, is that like people are like, I have to do this at this age. In my early 20s, I need to figure it out. It's like, no, you do not.
So many people don't know what they want to do when they're like,
when we were young,
well into their 40s or 50s.
Mom was doing night classes.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that. Oh yeah, I do. I remember that.
She wanted to like do, so it's like there are things you can do later on in life. There is not a timeline that is for every single person that you have to follow, that you have to do it one way.
Yeah.
Like doing the hard things at an earlier stage, yes, it does make it easier in the long run. I do agree with that thing. But at the same time, I don't think it's a necessity. Like, it's not something that you
It's definitely not a
need.
necessity unless you're like going into law or medicine.
Yeah.
Or engineering. Like, I'd say those three.
Yeah. But I think people understand that. Like, at least I hope they do. It's like, we're obviously not meaning like you can be a surgeon without going to school.
I hope not.
But yeah, I'm not going to change my mind on that. Like, I don't care if like it gets hate, because I don't agree with it. It's just my opinion. That's my opinion. Okay, overrated. Tesla. I think Tesla is so overrated.
Is it Tesla or Tesla?
How do I say it?
Tesla.
How do you say it?
Tesla. You say it with like a Z. I say it like, I
was going to say that sounds the same to me. Tesla. Whatever.
I could be wrong.
Company. I think it's so overrated. I've been in a few, and I just like, to me, always issues with the parts, and then they're so hard to get the parts for, and there are so many alternatives to an electric car that are not that brand, that are, in my opinion, even better. And I've talked to car experts about this, the people that are obsessed with cars. They don't understand the hype with Tesla, because and especially where we live, where it's freezing cold. It's like,
maybe it's the fact that Tesla is owned by Elon Musk, and it's more Elon Musk that people were so intrigued by.
I don't know, because people love the car. Like, I know there's a lot of people that live around me that have Teslas.
Maybe it's because Tesla offers things that these other cars don't.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's cool. Honestly, it looks cool inside. I feel like you're in a spaceship.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in a spaceship when I'm inside one.
But for the practicality of it and the price and like what you're getting, I don't get it. I don't get the hype. For me, it's so overrated.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I guess I agree. I don't really have like that much of an opinion about it, just because I haven't been in a Tesla, and I don't really. I mean, I have, but not enough, and I haven't. I don't know many people that own a Tesla.
I have 3 people in my life that have bought a Tesla and returned it.
Oh shoot!
Like, they didn't want it.
Okay.
And then underrated, that has nothing to do with Tesla or cars, but it's Amazon dupes. So there are, underrated, for example, like your extensions.
Yeah, I'm wearing extensions right now that were like $80. I got them off Amazon. It's real hair. You can curl them. It's the exact same color. Like, you wouldn't even be able to tell that I'm wearing extensions.
Yeah.
They just came in, and instead of paying like $300 for extensions, I paid $80, and they were at home, like shipped to my condo within a few days, and I love them.
Yeah.
It's because the extensions that I had before, like I recently got my hair toned, so it's a little bit darker.
Oh, they didn't match.
So it didn't really match. And I was like, I'm the type of person where my hair is I have a lot of hair, but it's very fine. Mm-hmm. So when I straighten it or when I curl it, I don't like how the ends can look a little bit stringy. Like it's just something, I don't know. Yeah. I just don't like it. So I like to use extensions more for like volume, like for like the ends of my hair.
Yeah.
These ones are a little bit longer than my natural hair, and I didn't buy like a huge amount, so like they definitely aren't like super full at the bottom, but I love them. Yeah. And they were like $80
compared to like I looked to buy some for my red hair, and for the length I wanted, it was $500.
Yeah, no.
Including shipping and everything. And I was like,
I'll send you the link of the extensions that I got, and then I'll send you a few other links that I've seen people.
Well, my friend literally was wearing extensions the other day, and I was like, these are so nice. And first I was like, your hair is like so healthy and long. She's like, well, I'm wearing extensions mainly for volume. And I was like, oh, really? Where are they from? She's like, Amazon.
Yeah.
I was like, what the heck? And so it was just, it's so crazy to me because there are so many things that are like very expensive that aren't from a small business, that are from very big businesses.
Yeah.
And like, obviously, I do think I like to support small businesses. So if is something, let's say like a candle that's more expensive, I'm going to spend the money on it for a small business. But if it's like a large corporation that is making something, or even a large designer, $4,000 for a purse, no.
I know.
I'm going to buy the dupe for $30 off Amazon.
Here's the thing. This is my opinion. Maybe this is an underrated opinion, but when people buy dupes for designer purses, but they're still spending like $300 on the dupe as opposed to like $8,000 on the real thing, I still think $300 for that dupe is like way overpriced.
Yes, but let's say you really want that bag, to spend $300 versus $8,000. But that's the thing, is that like
it's a huge difference, but I still find it
a lot of money. It is.
It's too much. I'm like, you're still paying $300 for something that's not real.
Yeah. Yeah, like, no, I get that.
It's still $300. You know what I mean? I'm not like do you? I don't care. But like,
you would never do it.
Yeah, but also like I'm not really into designer purses as much as I once was.
Yeah, I sold all my purses.
Like, I fully have like a real YSL purse that I got in Paris, and that was like what, $4,000?
No way, Kyla. That was not $4,000.
What was it?
Like 1,000.
No, it was more than that. It was, and I paid euros too. It was like, I think it might have been close to 2,000 Canadian and like 1,500 euros or something. So like I've spent money on like designer purses, but like that's the one designer purse that like I'm gonna have for the rest of my life. And it's also sentimental because
I see what you mean.
Because I also got it when I was in Paris, and it reminds me of that trip. And like, anyways,
that was a really fun trip.
It was.
But I sold basically all my purses to pay for IVF.
Oh my god.
Because IVF was so expensive, and like we have to pay out of pocket. So I sold. But a lot of people were like, "Why are you selling those? Like, you spent so much money on them." I'm like, yeah, but I also need to pay for this, and I don't ever use these bags anymore. Like, it was such a waste of money in my mind. I was like, why did I spend the money on this?
Yeah.
It's not like maybe the Chanel one, they go up in value, but it was like a fanny pack. So I don't know how much that would have gone up in value.
You had a lot of like Gucci, right?
Yeah, which does not add value.
Okay.
It's not like art where it goes up. Okay. Is it my turn?
Is it?
No, it's your turn.
Okay. Everyone freaking out over the Hailey Bieber.
Oh, we should talk about that.
Justin Bieber drama with Selena Gomez. And like, okay, so I think it's so overrated, and I think people are reading into it way too much.
I think people just need to go touch grass.
Like,
also, like, to pin two women against each other, so freaking typical. Like, why are you pitting women against each other?
What if like there's actually no meaning behind those videos that Hailey posted with, I know a little bit about the story, but it was supposedly, it's like Hailey and Kendall and Kylie are mean girls, and they were like cyberbullying Selena indirectly. But Selena has even like,
literally, Selena came out and was like, guys, like, stop.
Yeah.
Like, she said it so many times to stop hating on Hailey that there's no beef.
Yeah.
Like,
they even have pictures together from like a few months ago. And then people now are like, Justin's not defending Hailey, blah, blah, blah. But like,
They're like, Justin's not liking her Instagram pictures. I'm like, you think Justin Bieber is gonna freaking spend his time on Instagram?
Also, they were like Justin really not helping the whole everyone hating, like him loving his wife situation. He posted it like a swipe. Okay. I think it was of his 29th birthday, and every picture he's smiling. And the one picture he posted with Hailey, her face isn't showing and he's not smiling in that picture. So people are like reading into it. And I'm like, first of all, he doesn't need to defend her because it's his personal life. It's her personal life.
Yeah.
He doesn't owe that to anyone, and I'm sure everything is fine. And I'm sure at the end of the day, she's over Justin. He's over her. Selena and Hailey don't have any beef. They took pictures together. Those videos that were posted by Hailey and Kyla or whatever it was had nothing to do with Selena, and people are just freaking out for
and even
nothing.
If let's say they did. Let's say they had something to do with Selena. Why is that our business? Like, she's just being a mean girl then. Okay. She's being a mean girl. Like, oh, you're going to go defend Selena. Okay. And like call Hailey out and have Hailey have to come make an apology. Like, why are we all chronically online?
I know.
Go outside.
It's everyone.
Get off your phone.
Anytime I see a video.
Go outside.
Every time I see a video about it, the second I hear, oh my God, so Hailey, or oh my God, Selena, I just like keep scrolling because I'm like, it's actually for like the first time in a while, I'm really starting to get irritated by something that I'm seeing online because I'm like, these people, they have no life.
It's just so funny that like our job is literally online and we're like, get offline, except for our podcast. You can always watch us.
No, anytime it's consuming you and it's toxic and it's not bringing you any positivity in your life, like it's just a negative vibration. Yeah. Just go outside, get offline and go outside.
It's just
and like breathe in the fresh air, even if it's freezing.
I don't even like, people are like,
go pet your animal.
Like, Alex, talk about your opinion. I'm like, I don't have an opinion. Like literally.
My opinion is you guys are annoying me.
Yeah. Like not people asking me. It just like in general.
I know.
In a month from now, it's gonna be something else. It always happens. It was the Michaela eyelash thing, and then it was you know what I mean? It's like there's always something.
Yeah.
People need to fucking relax and go
that's why
outside.
I love that Michaela didn't even respond to it. She just kept making videos like
Did
so
you see Tana Mojo? Her video, she's like, I'm never gonna apologize ever again. What Michaela did is fucking epic.
Yeah, I did see that. I was like, it's so true. And like, she's not canceled. She's thriving.
I mean, literally the Kardashians have been canceled time and time again, and they're still thriving with all their businesses.
I have a feeling it was a PR stunt.
I don't know. I don't give a shit. Like, I want to move on to the next topic. It's like so annoying, this thing. Like, it's literally so, even though I'm like, let's talk about it.
Make videos and like there's just no cancel culture unless you're deeply like just a terrible person, like you're actually
but people
terrible.
think that about Hailey. They're like, she was a stalker, she stalked him, and then she was a fan, and now it's like, okay. And do you think any Justin Bieber fan would say no if he proposed to them?
Also, I saw, I was thinking about it and I saw something similar. It was like one of the very few videos I actually did watch where she was like, this girl was defending Hailey because I actually feel bad for Hailey. And she was like, let's say she was stalking Justin and she was obsessed with him and all this stuff that you're saying and accusing her of is actually true. How do you guys know all this? From stalking.
Oh!
And she was like, you guys are all just probably jealous that she got to marry him. You were all obsessed with Justin Bieber too.
Yeah. Anyways, chronically online, there was someone that commented, actually, I don't know if it was, I think it was on one of the Instagram comments that we got, that people were like, I'm so curious to know, in let's say 15 or 20 years from now, there's going to be probably courses on this whole chronically online thing, and like psychologists are going to study it.
I can't wait to read stuff on that.
Like, it's going to be so interesting because 10 years ago,
and like cancel culture.
Oh God, I hate it.
Like, the people are like, psychologists are going to like come out with all these studies showing like people that were very heavily involved in cancer culture are mentally unstable.
Or even people that are like, they demand things of influencers. You said this and now you're going against it. You need to speak up on it. You need to be accountable for what like, you've said when you were like 13. No,
could you imagine Alex becoming a celebrity, like super famous, like Justin Bieber status, like the stuff that people would find of things you posted online when you were like 13? I think about it and I'm like, there's no way I wouldn't be canceled a million times if I became a celebrity. Are you kidding me?
It's just, it's such a stupid thing too, because like even the smallest things,
like everyone just thinks once you become famous, all of a sudden it's like you can't say anything, you can't do anything, even when you were a kid. Like you just had to be like this perfect inhuman
I know.
being.
And they use the excuse of, well, you have a platform, so you have a duty. It's like, I don't agree with that. Yeah. Yes, I think it is of the influencer to be aware of the people that follow them, 100%. But it's not the influencer's responsibility.
Yeah.
It's, as a consumer, you need to be smart and aware of certain things that you're watching online and listening to. And you need to have a bit of a brain. I'm sorry to sound harsh, but you need to have a bit of a brain and knowing that people can say whatever the fuck they want and think whatever the fuck they want because it's their opinion and their life. People can change their minds over things, which people do not like when I change my mind. When I say something and then like 3 months later say something else.
It's actually like that just shows that like you're growing, you're a human.
Like it's the
most natural part of life.
Yeah.
To change your mind on things.
And then like I have to, people are like, well, why aren't you answering? Why aren't you talking about it? And it's like, why do I have to? I literally do not have to do anything.
See, to me, the only thing that I get from that is like these people are just bored. And the fact that you even remember that like you had a different opinion, like they remember that you had a different opinion months ago. Okay, like maybe that's not weird, like they just remember it, but to go out of their way to be like, why did you change your opinion, why aren't you talking about it, like why are you not having the like brain capacity to know that like people change their mind.
I get people are like, I noticed you're doing X, Y, and Z when like months ago you said you would like you wouldn't do that, or you said you would and now you're not. Like
that's different. That's just curiosity.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say is that there's a difference between that and being like, why are you avoiding the subject? Why aren't you talking about it? Blah blah blah. Why are you ignoring our questions? It's like, because I don't have to do anything that you want me to do.
Yeah.
You do not have to like me. I don't care.
It's like when I got canceled over that video and people were like, why aren't you talking about it? Why aren't you
People
saying
were
this?
literally coming to me.
Yeah. And I was like, are
I'm
you
not
kidding
even
me?
fucking
I don't
involved.
want to talk about it. Like the last thing I want to do is talk about it now. I feel like there's nothing I can say that's going to make you guys think that I'm not a bad person just because I posted a stupid video one time that was like,
Kyla, there were people in my fucking life that they're not my friends, but they're people that are like, that knew me in person that were like, your sister needs to, and I'm like, who are you?
Oh my God, I know.
First of all.
Actually, it's funny that we're talking about this. I recently saw, after that video was posted, and like it's deleted now, I actually like have never gone back and watched that video because it like scars me.
Yeah.
And that whole situation scarred me. But there was one girl in particular that was like really cyberbullying me, and I know who she is.
Yeah.
But I have never met her in person, but I know of her. And she was getting her friends to come on my account and leave hate as well. And she was like, I'm pretty sure there was like threats involved. Like I think she threatened to like hurt me or something. I could be
allegedly.
I blocked that conversation because I was like, oh my God, this is like really fucked up. And I blocked all her friends. But we were talking about something in one of our recent podcast episodes, and you had uploaded a clip from that episode where we were talking about people that leave hate and tell their friends to go on like that person's account and leave hate. And like I was talking about it and basically saying like, if you do that, you're a loser. And I was actually thinking of her and that situation in the back of my mind when I was talking about it.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
And it's ironic because I went on our Tell Me Sis podcast TikTok recently because I noticed on my TikTok, you know how you could see people view your profile?
Yes.
So I had blocked her on Instagram and Facebook.
Okay.
Because when she was leaving hate on my Instagram, she then took it to Facebook. And then I blocked her on Facebook.
Is this the same girl that also messaged me?
Yeah. And so I saw that she watched she went on my profile recently on TikTok. So I blocked her immediately on TikTok. And then I was like, I'm curious if it's because she watched that clip that we uploaded to our Tell Me Sis TikTok. Funny enough, she was stalking our Tell Me Sis podcast TikTok. So I blocked her on that as well.
Wait, how can you see if people look at your profile?
There's like a little icon and it shows like the people that go on your profile, and
that is so creepy. I did not know it did that.
Yeah. So I saw her name and I blocked her immediately. I was like, I am never gonna let this girl, like I do not want her watching anything. Even if she's grown since that whole incident, I am like, in my mind, she is like a scary person and I don't want
regardless
her
if you disagreed with what Kyla had said at the time, which by the way was like 4 years ago.
I don't remember.
Like so long ago. Whatever it was, regardless or not, to leave the hate that you did, to go to people in her life, to get your friends involved is like on a whole other level. Like, what are you doing? Yeah. Like, to me, I was like so turned off by this. I was like, this is so disgusting.
And the way I see it was like, I take accountability for like those it was tone deaf for sure. Like, definitely I take accountability for that. It was very tone deaf. Did I have bad intentions? Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Like, my intentions were good. It was just tone deaf. The backlash that I got from it was bullying. It was so bad that in my mind I was like, what you guys are doing right now, if anything, is worse. 100%. Because you have bad well, okay, no, some people actually didn't have bad intention. They were just like, like just from like coming from like, constructive criticism, whatever.
Yeah,
like, that I understood.
That's different though.
But the people that were like really leaving hate, I was like, you're trying to make me out to be like the worst person ever right now. Like, but my intentions were never bad, and it was just like a tone deaf situation. Mm-hmm. Whereas you're actually being a bad person. Like, you're intentionally trying to hurt me and like cyberbullying me. Like, yeah, what is that? Like, do you not realize that like you're worse in this situation? But then I also, on the flip side, had people reaching out to me that were like, Kyla, I watched the entire video and it's not bad at all. So it was interesting. Like, it was very 50-50, but the people that were like, that said that they watched the video and they didn't think it was bad at all, they weren't leaving public comments about it. Yeah. It was in my DMs.
The hate is always louder than, like, this is the thing. Hate will always be louder. Always, 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 always. And there's been people in my life, Kyla, who have tried to get my channel taken down because of an opinion I've had.
I was getting like, there was a lot of people in my DMs that I didn't know, and then also people that I did know that I hadn't spoken to in a while, and they were like, coming from a girl who gave birth, has saggy boobs, has stretch marks, I
literally me,
don't like my body. I watched the entire video and didn't get offended one bit.
Also, like, I watched that video and I didn't give two shits about what your ex-boyfriend had to say about girls. Okay. Yeah. He has an opinion about what he likes in a girl. Cool. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Like, because I'm happy in my life. I'm happy in my skin. I'm in a good relationship. So like, because I'm in a good place, I don't take offense to what some random person has to say.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the situation, is people were mad at me because I was like really promoting body positivity. And they're like, what do you have to say about it? I'm like, a guy who I don't really fucking know because of the pandemic, who my sister's dating, has an opinion about something. Okay. Yeah. He's not my friend. He's not my boyfriend. Yeah. I don't give a shit. Yeah. Cool. People think this 24/7. What about girls that are like, I like tall guys or muscular guys? Like, is that fucking rude to say?
That's the thing. That's always like what's confusing to me.
Like, people were like so pressed about it and so angry and messaging me, like personally messaging me, and I'm like, I'm not even fucking involved.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, fuck off.
I know. But that was like 0.0000001% of like what these celebrities have to deal with.
I know, but that's the thing, is that's why I can kind of understand.
That whole situation fucked with my mental health so hard. It was a great learning experience, to be completely honest. But like, in the moment, it fucked with my mental health so hard. And I remember thinking, like, I don't know how celebrities could do this. Like,
could you imagine being someone like Addison
leave
Rae?
The house.
Could you imagine?
No, I can't.
She gets so much hate, this poor girl. And for what? Because she's pretty and she's a good dancer?
I can't.
Like, people like will go to the ends of the earth to hate on this poor girl. And I'm like, I don't really know much about her. But all I know is that
I didn't even know she got a lot of hate. Like, for me, I just think that's why I think of like Hailey Bieber, and I'm like, I feel so bad for her.
Even if she was being a mean girl, let's say, which I don't think celebrities are intentionally going out and doing that. That's just my opinion.
Like, I think she has enough experience and she's old enough to know better than to be a passive-aggressive mean girl and post it online when she's married to one of the most famous people in the world and his ex-girlfriend is one of the most famous people in the world. I think she's smarter than to do something stupid like that.
People are just reaching. That's my opinion. Go outside. Because this is the thing. People are allowed to have different opinions from you. And, like, you getting mad at someone for their opinion is not going to change their opinion. Like, we all can agree to disagree. And I've noticed this in my real life too. Like, if I'm having a disagreement with somebody and they're so pressed on me changing my mind to fit theirs, it like pushes me away further. Like, even Kyla, literally this morning, or 2 days ago, sorry, Dan and I were having a disagreement because he was like, oh, this actor looks exactly like this actor. And I was like, I don't find it all. He's like, what? They're twins. I'm like, I don't find. And he's like, he pulls up on Google. He's like, look, the TV and this. I'm like, I literally do not find they look at all alike.
It's
and
so
he was
funny
getting
that-
so mad.
It's so funny that you say that because I literally like I remember telling someone like, you really remind me of Bradley Cooper in The Hangover. Like you just have that vibe. And that person took such offense to it. I don't know why. Because I was like, what do you like? Why? That's not offensive. He's so hot in The Hangover.
Yeah, he's like what,
so
good
hot.
looking. Yeah,
and for some reason, he was like, this person was so offended, and
which is fine. It's their opinion.
yeah.
They can
but
be
I was like, I
offended.
didn't mean that to like what? I was genuinely so confused. I'm like, that's a compliment. Like,
Yeah,
that's like saying that I look like Madison Beer. Like if someone was like, oh, you remind me of Madison Beer, I would be like, thank you.
Yeah,
she's so pretty. Anyways, I meant it in like a good way, but the person got so offended, and I remember like thinking to myself, he's like, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I was like, okay. And like in the back of my head, I was like, are you blind? How do you not see it? Like it's identical.
Yeah, but that's what's Dan was like getting mad at me. He's like, they're identical. I'm like, no, Dan, I really don't find.
It's crazy. People they look at different things when they see someone.
I know, but this is what I mean though.
My ass is numb. We need to like wrap this up.
What I mean is that people can agree to disagree.
Yeah.
But like Dan getting mad at me for not agreeing with him made me even more annoyed.
Did he think you were just disagreeing with him just because you wanted to disagree?
No. There's definitely times where that happens.
Yeah, because I know you and I know Dan.
But no,
I'm like,
this,
is that the reason?
I was like, I will show you after, and I want to know
Okay,
your opinion because I don't know the actors' names. I can't think of it off by heart. But I was like, I really do not find maybe siblings, but twins. There's a huge difference. And
I'm curious.
And
yeah,
he was like
show
literally
me.
getting mad at me. And I was like, okay, well, now I'm really going to disagree even more.
Yeah. Like, there you go, buddy.
But anyways, this was definitely I guess a controversial episode. I'm sure people are going to disagree with us. Please, if you want to be nice, go rate us 5 stars because the hate is always louder when we say things that people disagree with. They love to go rate us 1 star. They love it.
Show us some love, rate us 5 stars, and follow us on our social media.
And we will talk to you all next week.
Yep.
Bye.